Welcome to Wicked Majesty.
Greetings, music aficionados and seekers of the unseen. It's Keya here, your navigator through the melodies of the mysterious and the chords of the unknown. Today we embark on a journey through Haunted Strings, a tale where passion for music intertwines with the supernatural, reminding us that some melodies echo beyond the grave. Before we dive into this symphony of spirits, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay tuned to our latest tales. Have you ever felt a song haunt your very soul? Share your experience in the comments below. Now let's tune our senses to the story of Haunted Strings. My passion for music has always been a way to escape and find freedom. I used to sing in my church choir and play in my band. I would even write lyrics for songs. I was sitting on the patio strumming my guitar one day when the phone rang. Chris was calling. Our friendship dates back to middle school. It was in choir class we met and we formed the band Slasher. I played lead guitar and he played bass. I can't compare myself to Jimi Hendrix or Rosetta Tharpe, but I loved the way the guitar felt in my hands. As we became friends, Chris and I eventually fell in love. We never married, nor do we live together, but we had two beautiful daughters that are grown and living their lives now. Now it's just me and my dog Boo in the house. Chris had to take his father to his doctor's appointment. So when Chris called me, he was telling me they had to admit his dad in because of complications during some testing they were doing. They placed him in the ICU. Then on June 27th, Chris's dad passed away from a ruptured heart. That day was the end of a good man's life, but the beginning of our hell. Chris's dad was very close to me and Chris. He was almost like a second father to me. Much like me and Chris, his dad also loved music. Chris's dad used to play for a band called River Valley Twister. There were a lot of dark issues that occurred when he was with the band, mostly surrounding a lead singer named James, but they called him Rouge. Before his dad passed away, he told us the real reason he quit the band. He went to confront Rouge about some of his unacceptable behavior, like disappearances and using drugs while on tour. His dad caught Rouge sneaking around and doing drugs in the dressing room. His dad tried to talk sense into him, but Rouge pulled out a gun and shot himself in the head. When he died, Chris' father decided to keep Rouge's guitar, and from that day, he realized he needed to get out of the band. The instrument was a reminder of that fateful day which haunted Chris' father till the day he died. After his father's passing, Chris was in deep mourning. He couldn't move on until he found a way to pay his father his due respect. Chris felt like he needed to take the guitar his father gave him and start a band to honor his memory, but he had no clue where to start. One night, as I was sitting in the house, I heard a faint melody coming from outside in the night air. I followed it until I noticed that it was coming from the grave of Chris's fathers. I went to pay my respects to Chris's father and found Chris on the grave playing an old song. He said he was looking for a sign from his dad to help him set up the band. As the song echoed around us, I knew that I had found my answer. We would start the band to honor Chris's father's memory while also keeping the music alive. That's when we started the band Nowhere Boys. We placed Rouge's guitar in the center of the stage and made it the centerpiece of every show. We played the same song his father taught us at every performance, and everyone knew that the guitar was a special tribute from us to Chris's father. We performed at several venues and eventually even had recorded an album. I always wondered why his dad would never pick up the guitar and play. He took a while to figure out that Rouge was also into witchcraft and had placed a curse on his own guitar. The curse would affect the person who plays the guitar.
which will eventually lead them to death. Me, not knowing, picked up the guitar one day and started playing. I didn't notice anything strange happening to me first, but then strange things started to happen. Unsettling things that I couldn't understand, and everything that surrounded me was growing dark, and I felt like I was losing my mind. All of a sudden, I was doing things against my will. I was easy to manipulate at the time. I was so out of my head, I would find myself waking up in places I would never venture in the right state of mind. And every night I was summoned to the guitar and played the exact same notes every time. I got dragged by this invisible force to the grave and start playing the same song over and over again. I felt like I was being forced to do this. I was confused and scared to death because I didn't know what was happening to me. Suddenly I heard music coming from the sky. It was a familiar melody, one we used to sing in choir class. I figured it to be some teenage boys playing around, but little did I know that the haunting melody was much more than that. As the music intensified, more and more of the band members appeared on the patio. I was utterly dumbstruck. Here was Rouge standing in front of me. I felt my heart race, and I knew he was here to haunt me for the death of his friend. He and the other band members sang the haunting melody of River Valley Twister's cover song called I'll Put a Spell on You, with the aim of demanding retribution for all the wrongs that had been committed against them. I was terrified, and I knew I had to end the haunting. I had to fight the fear that had kept me silent and find my voice. I spoke to their souls, explaining why I had kept, and I knew at that moment that they felt, until one night Chris showed up at the graveyard while I was playing. He heard the melody and knew it was his father's song. He asked me to play it again, and as I started, he started chanting and drawing symbols. Then suddenly the guitar broke and the curse was finally lifted. It was a horror to behold. Since then, we disbanded the band, and I stopped playing the guitar as I was shaken by the thought that it almost killed me. I still have scars from the time I was cursed, and I get flashes of the horrors that happened, but I don't regret it because through that fear, I realized my worth and was glad to be alive. I came to the realization of the curse, and that I was going to be a victim of it. I had to break the curse somehow, so with the help of my friends, we did many rituals to help break it. After some time, I was finally freed from the curse, and Chris and I could focus once again on the band. We have written many songs since then, and each one serves the purpose of keeping my father's memory alive. We perform at concerts and festivals, and everyone knows the Nowhere Boys is an act to watch out for. We live life with our guitars, and we use it as a way to express ourselves and to honor the memory of those we have lost. I want our music to be our voice to tell the world of the evil that lurks in the shadows and the everlasting power of everlasting music.
Now when we play his father's song, we can feel the bond he still shares with him. His dad had given us the gift of music, and we could never forget him. He will always be a part of the Nowhere Boys family, and his haunting melody will live on.
And so Haunted Strings resonates as a haunting reminder that music with all its beauty can carry the weight of histories untold and legacies unfulfilled. Yet at its core, it remains a bridge to the beyond, a medium through which we confront our fears and triumph over the spectral chains of the past. Chris and Maya's journey through the darkness brought them back to the light, and music a testament to the enduring bond with those we've lost. If this tale of haunted melodies and broken curses has stirred the strings of your soul, let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share this video to keep the music alive. Until our next encounter, keep the melody of your life running strong and remember, haunted strings, the music never truly ends. Farewell, may life's soundtrack be free of hauntings, but full of wonder. See you next time, where the music plays on in the shadows.
Until next time, sleep tight, don't let the shadows bite.